everybody's talking about energy. And I think also everyone's talking about lacking energy and losing energy just with the way that we live our lives these days. And I think it's nice to kind of hear, and I know it's not easy to live completely and without incompletions, but that if we did just stick to our word, to ourselves and to others, then we could just gain a lot more energy from that.
Yes, and there's much more to do. You need to complete your past. If your past is incomplete, it haunts you forever. It colors your vision of the world. So if you're incomplete with your mother, everything you see about in a woman is subject of being mixed with the incomplete stuff that you have not resolved with your mom, and same with your dad. So the whole world is blurred in your vision and how you interact with the world according to incompletions that are unresolved in your system. They can be traumatic, then your emotional body, your cellular body, your cell memory is involved. It can be little things, it can be big things, but it's certainly a big chunk. And that needs to be completed. All the things you have done that were not authentic are living in you as incompletions. And the job you have is probably inauthentic. The relationship you have is probably inauthentic. The things you do are probably inauthentic, because in order to become authentic, you first need to clarify with yourself, who are you? Why are you here? What is your purpose in life? What is it you meant to be? What is really you? And until those questions are answered, your past is incomplete and your future is incomplete. Because when I speak about an incomplete future, simply you haven't answered the questions. What is it you really are meant to do in this life? Until you know your purpose, everything you do will be incomplete, because you're never sure if that is really you. So you always feel unfulfilled. You're looking for the real thing out there. You only know that you're not feeling at home. You only know that you're not really feeling true, complete, or whole, or authentic. And when we talk about the present moment, so let's say you're really doing the work. Let's say you are going into therapeutic, valuable processes, and you clean up your past. We all have to do that. Nobody has survived their childhood, so everybody is damaged. Everybody. So
yes,
we all have to do the big cleanup of the past. Then we have to clean up our future, as in answering all those critical questions. What's the meaning of life? I just went through that. And then we have to learn to keep the present moment complete, because every day I'm interacting with the world. And if my interactions are not total, if I'm withholding, if I'm driven by fear, if I say no when I mean yes, if I say yes when I mean no, all that leaves new incompletions. So I need to learn a way of authentic, conscious living every single moment. I need to say what I mean. I need to mean what I say. If I don't do that, I'm immediately causing the next incompletions my mind is going to be busy with tonight. Mm-hmm. And then the whole mess is starting again. The more the mind is busy and incomplete, the more unconscious I become. In being unconscious, I'm doing more actions that are causing more incompletions. And then I'm getting completely under the wheels of the incompletions. And that means for most people that the standard way of living. Mm-hmm. They just struggle to get through it. And then the whole thing is about rescuing one's life. And people live in reaction every day. So there's a whole different way of living, a creative way of living. But it requires that your slate is clean. That requires that you need to bring your house in order. And once your house is in order, then everything is a whole different quality of life. I'm reminded about the movie Limitless. I don't know if you saw it, where he throws the pills and suddenly he really is a creative human being. And the first thing after the pill, which represents, by the way, being complete in the brain, in the mind, the first thing was he cleaned up his house. Everything was like beautifully in a conscious order. Conscious order is not a recipe for it has to be in a particular way. It's simply everything is conscious. So in that state, suddenly you experience being connected to creativity, inspiration, motivation. You become a genius because intrinsically we are all a genius inside. But if you're not completing, if you're not getting out of the way what is incomplete, you can't experience who you are in completion. And only when you experience who you are in completion, you experience who you really are, you experience your potential, and you really are starting to create your life as a masterpiece.